I don't think that there's anything much harder to accept about narcissistic abuse than to realize that somebody that you loved with all your heart never loved you back, was pretending to feel things that you assumed that they felt, never really cared about you, and wasn't actually even capable of love. In this video, I want to talk about what this means, and maybe we can talk about what love actually is, what that means to people, and why it is that pathological narcissism makes it so difficult for a human being to love anyone. Welcome to Looking Behind the Mirror, where we explore narcissism and take our lives back as we make sense out of nonsense. As a quick disclaimer, everything I say is based on my opinions and my personal experiences. I'm not a professional, and if you're really struggling, I encourage you to seek professional help. I am providing links below for you. In this video, I'm going to go over 5 reasons that narcissists can't love you. But first, I want to go over a little bit about what this means, or what it means to me. I've heard people say, well, they can't love you, they can love you in their own way. There are pathologically narcissistic people in this world that are a lot easier to live with than others. They aren't all the same, and some of them that are not quite as difficult to live with, you may assume that they love you because of all the things you've been through together. And you know, I've heard this, well, they love you the best way that they can. I mean, to me, that's kind of a nice thing to say. To me, what I've been through with narcissists has really taught me what love is, because I had an idea of what it was before, but having seen what it's not, it's really helped me form an idea of what it is. Love is a feeling that's really hard to put into words. But when you're in the presence of somebody that loves you, there is a safety in that presence. There is no threat. There is no fear. When you're in the presence of somebody that is supposed to love you but doesn't, there's a nervousness. The relationship is very conditional on the things that you say and the ways that you behave, and maybe even what you wear or how you look or what you're planning to do for dinner that night. The relationship is conditional and it feels dangerous. And if you're used to being in a relationship like that, you might not realize how wrong it is, and you may think that it's love. When you're in a relationship of any kind with a narcissist, there is a constant feeling of danger. There is a constant threat looming in the air. Even if you're not consciously aware of it, you are subconsciously aware that any false move, the wrong word, the wrong thing happens, and you will be emotionally abandoned like that. You will be rejected, and the relationship might even end. People that really love you don't make you feel that way. People that really love you might roll their eyes at you. They might laugh at you, laugh with you. But there will never be a question of whether or not that person is still accepting of you, whether that person still approves of you as a human being and cares about you. You will never feel threatened that this person is going to just suddenly abandon you because you did something wrong. Even when you're in a heated argument with someone that loves you, there's not that feeling of threat. There's not that feeling of abandonment that you get when you're in an argument with a narcissistic person. When you're arguing with a narcissistic person, there's no mistaking the feeling that the narcissistic person is rejecting you as a human being, is telling you that you are wrong. Not that you disagree, but that you are wrong and everything about you is wrong and unacceptable because of whatever position you're in that moment. When you're arguing with somebody that loves you, there isn't that kind of feeling to it. So why can't narcissists love us? Reason number 1, in order for someone to love you, they have to know you. Narcissists are not able to get to know you, as I've explained quite a bit in my previous videos. When narcissists look at you, they don't see you, they see a reflection of themselves. It doesn't even occur to them that they could get to know you, that there's like a person in there that they could get to know. They're too preoccupied with how you're reacting to them, with their supply. They're too preoccupied with what it means to them and how it makes them feel about themselves. They don't know you. And if they don't know you, how can they love you? You can't love somebody that you don't know. Narcissists are in a type of movie that they're directing and writing about themselves and your character in that movie. So they imagine that you're reading the script that they've written for you, which is why they get so angry when you say the wrong things, because they've already decided who you are. It's kind of like trying to get to know your favorite movie actress by watching him or her act in a movie. You're never going to get to know that person by watching them pretend to be somebody else. It kind of goes both ways, where narcissists are always acting. They kind of assume you're always acting because this is a movie about them, right? This is a story that they've written. This is a fantasy that's coming to life, and you're just playing a part. So just like an actress in a movie or an actor in a movie, they're never going to get to know you by the part that you play. Reason number 2 that narcissists can't love you is that they don't really understand what love is. As I was saying earlier, love is an unconditional acceptance of somebody. Now, that doesn't mean an unconditional allowance of that person's presence in your life, but an unconditional acceptance. I like this person. I care about this person, and they don't have to do anything to earn that. I just care about them because of who they are. Narcissists don't think like that. Narcissists expect you to do for them. They expect you to earn their acceptance constantly. It's not something you can earn once. It's something you have to constantly be doing for them to earn their love and acceptance. You have to constantly be giving something to them, or they have no use for you. What kind of love is that just disappears the minute that they don't have a use for you and that they aren't directly benefiting from your presence? And when we're talking about romantic love, narcissists have an idea of romantic love that's pretty much what you would see in a movie. And those of us that fall in love with them can fall into this same trap. The word that I like to use, that I've seen used, is intensity. Love in a narcissistic relationship is intense. Relationships with narcissists are intense. And if that's all we've really known in our lives, we might mistake intensity for love. Think of the most intense romantic classic movie that you can think of, and the most romantic scene in that movie. That's intensity. That's not real life, and that's not real love. That's chemicals going haywire in people's brains. And a lot of relationships start that way, but in a narcissistic relationship, that's what a narcissist thinks love is. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of us are led to believe that love is as well. So there's this constant push to keep that intensity alive, which is part of what can cause a trauma bond, because you can get stuck in a cycle in which the narcissist will actually cause drama, cause problems, just so that you can make things right again, just so that you can get that rush of dopamine when there's nothing else that's really worth it to them. That's love. If they can't have that intense rush of dopamine, what's the point? They don't really love you. They love the way that you are making them feel. And a narcissist will never think of love as a mutual acceptance and care for each other. They will think of love as intense dopamine rushes accompanied by your unwavering, unconditional admiration of them. The third reason that narcissists can't love you is that they're too preoccupied with their own little world. They're too focused on their own survival. They're narcissists. Everything 24/7 is all about me, 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 me. They don't have time to think about you. They don't have time to even realize that you're really even there, apart from the functions that you serve for them and the things that you do for them. Narcissists are permanently traumatized individuals, and I'm not saying that because I think we should feel sorry for them. I'm just saying it's the truth. They live in perpetual trauma, which is why they're perpetually in survival mode, which is why they imagine that everything is a constant threat, They're always waiting for something awful to happen. They always expect people to hurt them, betray them, lie to them, attack them. They're always on the defensive. They're always getting ready for the shoe to drop. They're always getting ready for something awful to happen. So there's not really space in their world, space in their heart to love people, because in order to love people, you have to let your guard down a little bit. You have to be a little vulnerable, and you have to trust. You have to take a chance, and narcissists can't do that. They are too angry at the world, and they are too quick to spot a threat, and they are unable to trust anyone. The fourth reason that narcissists can't love you is that they see you as the enemy. Now, maybe this isn't the case in the beginning of the relationship, but at the point in a normal relationship where those first intense feelings of infatuation start to wear off and a more genuine, stable type of love starts to form, that's the point in the relationship in which a narcissist will start to feel disappointed and betrayed. They expected the relationship to stay perfect and amazing and intense forever and ever, to make them feel like the king or queen of the world for the rest of all time. And when things start to feel a little normal, start to level out, and that euphoria and that fantasy world starts to fade away, or maybe has a bad moment, there's nothing left there for them, and they're going to blame you for that, because you were supposed to keep those feelings going forever. You were curing all their ills. You were the answer to all of their problems. And now, what's this? Now we're right back to the same old crap that they've always had to deal with, and they're going to blame you for that. And they're going to look at you as a traitor, as a liar, as somebody that was pretending to love them, as somebody that was pretending to be able to solve all their problems for the rest of all time. They can't love you if they don't trust you. They can't love you if they see you as a traitor. They can't love you when they feel like you purposefully misrepresented yourself, and that they gotta punish you for that now. There's no room for love in there. They can't accept someone that would do something so awful. And the fifth reason that narcissists can't love you is they can't love themselves. And I know this is maybe a little overdone and maybe a little cheesy, but it's true that if you can't love yourself, you can't love other people. And instead of just saying that because it sounds nice, let me explain what I mean by that. Narcissists have a pathological self-hatred. They have a deep fundamental shame of themselves and who they are. They don't even know who they are because they're too ashamed to even look at their own authentic identity. And they have been since the time that they would have been developing their identity. So they're completely out of touch with who they are. They never had a chance to develop that part of themselves. If somebody has that deep of a self-hatred and they run into somebody that claims to love them, they have to believe that you are either lying to them or that something is wrong with you. And I'm guessing, but I think most of the time they think, oh, this idiot doesn't even know me. Yeah, sure, she or he loves me. Yeah, you love me. Sure, you don't even know me. What is wrong with you? Well, okay, if you must worship me, all right, sure, go ahead. And I'm sure that it pumps their ego up, but they don't really believe that you love them, even if you really do. And I guess they kind of have a point. If they're putting on an act and they're never really showing you who they really are, then maybe you really never did love them. You loved who you thought they were. You loved who they portrayed themselves to be, but you never really loved them, and they knew that all along. So the fact that you love them is going to create some resentment in them, and maybe even a little bit of disgust in them. And how can they love you when they can't respect you for loving them? When you live your whole life with an absolute conviction that you don't deserve love and that you are so undeserving of love that you cannot even show anybody, including yourself, who you really are, how can you ever learn to love anyone else? How can you ever even understand what love is? Narcissists cannot accept your love, they cannot understand your love, and they cannot believe in your love. And when somebody can't accept or recognize love, they can't love you back. I hope this helps. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment below any suggestions you have for me for future videos. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, which come out every Tuesday and Friday. Liking, commenting, and subscribing lets YouTube know that you found this video helpful and that other people may find it helpful as well. Until next time, thanks. Bye.